Good evening. January 11th, 2021. Another Whiskey with Rich. And tonight we have Ryan Lambert and Tim Percy. We'll bring them on in. There we go. How you guys doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Yeah, everyone got something to drink? Hold your glass oh yeah, okay. Put your beer up there too, Tim.
Apparently, I've got to grow my hair longer for that intro music so I can get that head shake going.
I thought it would be a little retro there.
Yeah.
Did you say a little metro?
Retro.
Metrosexual.
Well, I don't know about that. Anyways, Ryan, for our viewers, we've got about 14 people. Give them a few more minutes here. Oh, what did I get? Thumbs down on the music, it looks like.
Oh my.
Okay.
Wow.
Jeez, they're already getting nasty here.
Yeah.
Anyways, Ryan, where are you today? You're in Alabama?
Montgomery, Alabama. Yeah.
So you went all the way to Alabama just to watch the game on TV?
No, to kill birds.
Yes. I could not wait to get here for that.
You gonna go out and celebrate with them?
Montgomery is probably one of the worst cities in Alabama that you could go to, by the way. I know you guys probably don't have a lot of experience, but this is not a good spot.
Do you know where we live? We live like 20 minutes from Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah.
So we don't know nothing.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Detroit. I'll say that.
All right. Anyway, so when you say Montgomery being bad, you mean poor?
Poor. Like there's nothing here. It's like we used to stop here on the way to Florida for vacation, and you didn't even want to get out of your car to get gas. Like that's how bad it is.
Okay.
Like,
well,
that's just rough neck of the woods.
That's what Detroit used to be like. I never used to like to go on East Jefferson for years, but now it's a safe place now. There's still parts of Detroit you don't go. Where Tim has his mailbox, you don't go.
Is that right?
What's wrong with it there?
Well, that's still one of the areas it's kind of sketchy. I know they're cleaning that one up too, but that's a little behind East Jefferson. Anyways, Ryan Lambert from Tennessee, is that right?
Yeah, right outside of Chattanooga.
Right outside Chattanooga. And Tim Percy from, I won't say Lakeshore, Belriver, Ontario. Tim's got something about that. And I'm sitting here.
Municipality of Lakeshore, isn't it?
Pardon me?
It's now the municipality of Lakeshore.
Bunch of babies. Jeez. I'm sorry. Anyways, that's a local thing, Ryan.
I won't get into that.
All right. So Ryan, before we get started with the topic we got you guys on for, you had your best year of fishing this year?
It wasn't bad.
No?
It wasn't bad. I've had a couple decent little years, but as far as like punching the ticket, I've finished second in more events than I'd like to count. But this year I managed to knock off the Tennessee State Championship, which is big for us because the way our system is set up, we have 16 clubs in the state, and you qualify your top 10 from each club, and then you go around the state and you compete at a different location every year. And Tennessee's got a pretty good amount of talent on the national level inside Tennessee, so it was good to knock that one off. And then a month later, the BOS Tournament of Champions happened to be on the same water, and those fish didn't move. They didn't move an inch. They were sitting right in the same spot. Yeah.
You're making it sound awful easy, but I'm sure it wasn't.
It was super easy.
Really?
Dude,
I'm trying to help you, Ryan.
No, don't help me. Like you know how fishing goes, man. When it's your day, it's your day. Like you can't screw it up if you try. And that's just all the dominoes kind of fell into place from the state championship to the TOC. Everything just went right. I hope I didn't use up all my luck, but if I did, so be it. That was a good way to go out.
Yeah, I guess so, eh? Yeah. Well, let's welcome some of our viewers: Rob Bennett, Frank Barone, Karen Poole, Bill Weaver, Christine Fisher. You still out in the ice, Christine? Camping? Jamie Stevenson. She's yet to get out in the ice. But by the way, I took up ice fishing yesterday.
I saw that. Look
I
at
put
you.
on my big boy pants, unlike some other friends of mine, and went out there and I didn't freeze. I actually stayed warm, caught some fish, had a good time. I'm going to do it again.
I want to try it once. It looks pretty entertaining.
Yeah,
I tried it once. That was enough.
I tried it once and it wasn't a very good experience my first time, but yeah, this time was. Chris Lowe, a new viewer here. It must be one of your buddies, maybe Ryan.
No telling, man.
No, Shane
telling.
Fernandez. Met Shane up at the Ontario Bassmaster. How you doing, Shane? Shane's one of the guys that we're all hoping to be able to make it down to Texas for the championship. John Dean, good evening.
Whenever that happens.
Yeah, whenever. Heck, I might just fly down just to go to the expo if there is one.
I'd say there will be one in June. I think everything will be calmed down after flu season and
after we all get our vaccines.
Yeah, I won't go that far, but after flu season anyway.
Or after the inauguration.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Jeff Beecham, how you doing from London? And all right, so who's gonna do the introduction here? What I got you guys on here to talk about a new platform, we call it. It's going to be introduced before the end of January, Ryan. Okay,
Yeah.
knock on wood. All right, yeah.
No, it is.
All right.
It's
Anyways, Ryan, I'll let you since you're one of the main guys behind KBN. This is a little kickoff at KBN, is it, or not? No, not gonna be any relation.
So we actually wanted to do something kind of separate from KBN. You know, KBN's its own little animal that, you know, it gets kind of rowdy and out of hand. We're trying to make something that's a little more friendly toward the new kayak fisherman that comes in with questions and, you know, simple stuff like rigging and you know, rod selection for certain bait types or seasonal patterns, that kind of thing. We're trying to make something that is, you know, super welcoming. We want to have a forum, a message board where you can ask questions, you can request videos on certain topics. But, you know, we've worked really hard to select people that are kind of well respected in the sport and put out quality content. So,
can you name some of those, or is that still a secret?
No, well, one of them is this guy that lives in Detroit, as you say.
South Detroit.
We're going to have Brandon Barton, Matthew Van. Those are two salt guys from Florida. Guillermo Gonzalez out of Texas. Russ Snyders, Greg Blanchard, Jeff Malott, of course. Jay Wallen, AJ. Christine's going to help us in a contributing capacity, you know, maybe a couple of guest appearances for now. We're going to try to get that worked out down the road. Jake Harshman. We've got a pretty good Kurt Smits. Kurt Smits signed on with us here recently. But I mean, it's you know, we tried to span from coast to coast on the U.S. and then all the way up to Canada, down to South Florida with Rob Will Valderay. I mean, we've got a really kind of broad scope of skill set that we're going to bring in and hopefully teach a lot of people some new tricks.
So Tim, what's your specialty? For those that don't know or haven't seen your videos, we'll let you put up your YouTube video there.
My little niche is rigging kayaks. It's what I enjoy doing, setting kayaks up, making them more efficient and user-friendly, I guess you could call it. So that'll be a part of my content that I plan on contributing. But I'll still throw in some fishing stuff, whether it be musky stuff on St. Clair, some small smallmouth stuff, maybe some walleye stuff, a little bit of everything probably.
How to follow guys that are catching fish?
Ooh. I think how to frame Hobie Worlds jerseys. It looks like Tim has taken up that hobby lately. Hopefully you can help us out.
I had to do something with all these trips to Joanne's with my wife. I had to pick up something.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting one of those myself if we get Hobie Worlds back on the schedule somewhere.
Now, are you on 10 or 9? Ryan, which Hobie Worlds? You're 9 or 10? 9 hasn't happened yet. It's been postponed two times and maybe a third now.
Yeah, it's going to be that next one, 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I just qualified at the TOC. So
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so
myself
it's
and
excellent.
Jordan Marshall we will be representing America with mullets flying. You'll
Awesome.
hear the sounds of eagles when we step onto the water.
Huh. Awesome.
Speaking from experience, there's nothing like a Hobie World thing. It's just a fantastic experience.
Yep. I've been to one in Australia, and then I worked at the one in Louisiana Tim was at, and actually I enjoyed that one just as much as I did fishing. It was they're all great experiences, whether you're there to fish or just be part of it.
Yeah.
I can't wait. That's definitely a bucket list tournament. I feel like for anybody,
Yep.
in kayak fishing, no matter where you're at, that's definitely something you want to get to do at least once.
Yeah, and for people that don't know, if you ask the question, how much money did you win when you won? It's hard to say. It's not worth. It's not the money. There is no money, but it's the experience is richer than any pot that you can win in kayak fishing, except for maybe the ones like $20,000 and $30,000 that Ryan won.
I don't know that the money is the biggest part of that, honestly. I mean, I'm not saying don't get me wrong. Like, I don't want to hand the 30 grand back, but qualifying for that top 50 tournament and being there with that caliber of anglers from all over, like that's huge. That's what's on my list every year. That's if I can get there, I'm good. I don't care about the rest.
Yeah.
But just being able to perform 2 days in a row with those kind of people like beating the door down behind you, like what happens if you mess up. There's no mulligan. You don't get a redo. Like it's over. Like if you screw up on one fish, it's over.
But on the other side of it, you go to one of these events, and Tim can relate. He something about a donut. But anyways, you can go there and catch nothing, and still feel like, wow, what an experience. Like, yeah. I mean, I didn't have the greatest fishing. I didn't get skunked, but I didn't do that well. And just the people I met. That was in 2013. I'm still chatting with guys from New Zealand that I met in 2013.
Yeah.
And those are friendships you don't lose.
And we have a unique kind of sector of the sport of fishing. I feel like you don't see that happen in professional bass fishing. Like if you go to an open and there's 250, but like you may meet a guy at the hotel that you're staying at or something, eat dinner with them in the parking lot that night. But you don't have that camaraderie, that connection that you do in kayak fishing. I think that's one of the things that really kind of sets us apart and makes it more of a draw to the masses, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. We got a few more viewers here. Dwayne Gillis, another local guy that's been fishing with us. Serge Paradis from the KAO, and Roberto. If you would have tuned in on time, you would have known that I am drinking. Let's see, where is it here? I'm drinking grappa. I'm Italian tonight. Maybe next week, in your honor, there, Roberto, I'll bring out my Patron or my Dom Julio, the Nijo, the good stuff.
I don't think we're allowed to drink Grandpa down here, but I don't know. Maybe in Alabama. You probably are in Alabama, hell. What am I saying?
Anyways, so now there's going to be a particular membership to this new platform. Is that right?
It is, and it's going to be, I mean, honestly, like nominal. Like it's, $4 or $5 and a month, and you'll have unlimited access to all the content. The way we're going to set it up is, we'll have kind of a update sort of timeline of latest videos posted, but you can go in and click, your favorite angler, or if you're going on a vacation or something, you can click, the Texans guy if you're going to Texas. Brandon Barton, Matthew Van, if you're going, to the beach looking for some saltwater expertise. But you can search by person, you can search by category, kind of filter through those things. I'm going to do a lot of, kind of like what my video setups are, what kind of equipment I use, drones, editing. Like I'm going to take it more than just fishing, but kind of, the whole scope of content creation, and then also some behind the scenes tournament coverage from some of these tournaments to let you see the fun side of of things when the cameras are off.
Yeah. For those of you that have
they don't allow cameras in certain locations. So right?
Yeah. If us three are together, there will not be a camera there.
We definitely don't want any video.
No. For those, I mean, for Ryan, you really haven't put out one of your. I mean, I still remember some of your videos from back in your native days. Those are awesome. Were those you, or did you have some help there?
No, those. So with the native stuff, for a lot of those, I was the guy in front of the camera. Like that's how I got into the filming stuff. Is I worked with these different production companies and ask a lot of questions on what kind of gear they use, and you know, then follow up questions into editing and that kind of thing. And then I started doing videos for native. So I did a couple. I did this the Slayer 12 and a half max, whatever. I did that video. I did one with Jordan Lee and Jason Lambert. I put that one together. And then I did the Hobie Tarpon video last year with Matthew Van and Brandon Barton. I really enjoy that kind of stuff, but I keep a lot of irons in the fire, so I don't necessarily have the most time to to be putting together stuff like that.
All right. We got a question here. Is this an app or a YouTube channel, or what exactly would you call it?
No, it's gonna be its own, website URL. We're looking at possibly integrating streaming where you can pull it up, from your couch on Hulu or Apple TV or whatever. That's something that we're discussing and potentially moving toward as well. But it's going to start out being a web-based platform.
All right. Good. Very good. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen all the guys that you mentioned their stuff, but I want to say Jay Wallen, very, very informative videos. Fishing. I don't know if he did any rigging. Sometimes his equipment and stuff, but mainly his fishing how-tos are good. Or when he's fishing in a certain lake, and he gets in nice detail. You want to learn how to fish the ledges. He had a couple a 2-part series or a 3-part series. I can't remember. It was very, very good. How to read your fish finder. I mean, that stuff's invaluable. And
so that's going to be one of Jay's things. I mean, we tried to pick people with like different, number one, different geography, but number two, different specialties. Jay is really good at reading a map, reading a fish finder, breaking down a lake. Like that's what Jay I think is really going to excel at. AJ can lend us a perspective that a lot of people will never see as far as directing tournaments and things you need to think about and how to kind of build your tournament series more like a business, help some guys on the ins and outs of growing their own local club or even a series.
Yeah, very good. No, I'm sure they all have their niche, and it's going to be very valuable. And like you said, for a little bit more than what a weather app costs, you can have valuable information. So, what about tournament fishing next year? You going to try and top this past year?
Hold
on, let me ask Tim that. Let me ask Tim that question first. Tim, are you going to try and
top this year? It'll be hard. It'll be really hard.
Yeah. We're still fighting up here whether we're going to be able to cross that border, Ryan.
How many tournaments did you guys? You could still fish your local stuff this year, though, right? After COVID was announced.
Yeah, we did. We didn't miss anything. I mean, we did that trip, Tim and I, and in March, 2 weeks, and the day we got back was when they pretty much started shutting the border down.
Yeah,
and we haven't been able to cross since. And honestly, when that happened, I figured we'd be back in June. Yeah. Can't believe it. People aren't even talking about the border open. I don't even think they announced an extension this month, did they, Tim? Every month they were announcing every month they'd say one more month that the border closed.
It's usually around the 21st or something. They usually say it, but I think.
All right. Well, I don't remember hearing it in December, but maybe. But I personally hope that if it means me being able to cross the border, I will go get my vaccine, because I like traveling, and I'm not afraid of vaccine. I'm 60 years old. I mean, what can it do to me? Heck, I haven't.
I'd say you've got enough in your system to kill it anyway, Rich.
My wife says, "What does she call it? I have a steel vault for a stomach or for an immune system because I just don't get sick."
Well, you
I hope
eat
you
all
don't.
that
I hope you don't.
plant-based stuff, so you must have a steel bolt for it.
Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot about that part of Rich.
Yeah. It's a great meal again tonight. And
FW.
huh?
FW.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
All right, okay. So, okay, Ryan, back to you. So, what's your schedule next year? You gonna fish the same? You gonna do the same tournaments?
yeah. So I'm gonna try to hit a lot of the BOS stuff. I feel like when you're looking at return on investment and you know kind of what exposure you're getting out of it, I feel like Hobie does a great job as far as promoting the anglers. So I've got a lot of BOS stuff on my schedule. It's going to start at Seminole here in a few weeks, actually. So I'm going to kick off the series down there. I don't have any like highlighted items that I'm trying to really check off the list this year, other than the Tournament of Champions. Like I wanna be the first one to win that back to back. So I'm gonna pour everything I have into learning Lake Eufaula and being ready to put on a show this fall.
Well, that's great. I just hope that we can go over and fish a tournament. I mean, just the way that it falls right now, the ones I want to do are the earlier ones,
Yeah,
and the more difficult ones are later in the year. Difficult
you
for
gonna
us to
go
get
fish
to.
Texas in the summer?
No.
No.
No, 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 never.
I mean, I don't mind the cold, but when it get, I hear you guys talk about the heat down there, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
I, I hear most Texas people don't even fish during the summer. Is that true?
I don't know. I mean, Texas people are weird anyway, but it's. I mean, even even on Chickamauga and Gunnersville, like in the dog days of summer, you don't see crowded boat ramps. I'll tell you that.
Well, in November, I was in Alabama and in Guntersville, and it was freaking 90 degrees out and humid. That was
Mm-hmm.
November. I can't
Yeah.
imagine what it's like in the summer. Um,
110 and like 85% humidity.
oh my
That's
God.
that's what it's like.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Texas guys, how you doing, Matt? Matthew Scotch chiming in here.
Matthew Scotch, there he is.
Yes, he is. Rick Beauchamp. And he says it'll be in the low 90s in early June. Well,
There you go.
I mean, we can get there at that time of the year. Summer is
Sustainable.
Summer's July and August there. Okay, so July and August is not time to fish, I guess. How you doing, John Nelson? Another local guy, always chiming in. So, so Tim,
Yeah.
where are you gonna fish next year?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just waiting to see how everything plays out. I mean, we've got the OKVD series, but I don't know. I don't know what events I'm going to do out of that. And then, I mean, I was hoping the border opens up. I'd like to do a number of the Michigan stuff. It's nice and close by, so and it's always great to go back over and hang out with those guys. They're always a good group over there. But
Yeah.
I was hoping to get some Hobie Boss stuff in this year. That's for sure. But I don't know if it's going to happen.
Yeah, that Champlain tournament. I would love to do that one in New York. I mean, I've looked at that lake before for some of the New York tournaments. I wanted to try it. You gonna make your way up for that Champlain tournament, Ryan?
Possibly. I duck hunted up there year before last. It's a beautiful, beautiful
Yeah.
body of water. I wouldn't mind going back up for that one. I'm going to go to the Susquehanna for sure.
Yeah. Did you do it last year?
Oh yeah,
Is
yeah.
it?
I just got the Bossy Oak. They put the wrap on my boat like a week before the Susky, and I told them I was like, hey, like the Susky's like 2 feet deep and just solid rock. Like you might not want to do this. And they did, and I mean, it just chewed it all to pieces.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Were you dragging it through the rocks or?
Oh yeah. No,
Oh.
I drug it. I mean, I'd say 1.5 miles upriver.
Oh.
And I mean, there were some, class 3 rapids coming back down, and I high centered it on one, and it was trying to flip the boat. I had to bail out the other side and grab the H rail and pull it back down. All these whitewater guys were sitting up on this rock laughing as I took the PA-14 down. It's pretty sweet.
So do you keep the drive in and put the plug in, or?
I kept the drive in.
Oh,
I
geez.
kept the drive in the whole time, man. I beat that 360 up bad.
What's Tim doing there? Showing off
You
his.
need one of those Burley Pro new bumper bros.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, okay. Got it. All right. Matt Ball just joined us. How you doing, Matt?
Mr. Matt.
Yes,
We
sir.
got all the Matts in here.
Yeah, eh? Anyways, yeah, the Susquehanna, I don't know. That one scares me a bit. I've done a river like that. What river was that, Tim? We did what was it called?
Oh,
In
the
Michigan there. It was the last one we did with one of Drew Gregory's events. It was a big
Manatee
one
or
too.
whatever.
That river?
Yeah.
The Flint River. We did the Flint River.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was that one I got out and walked. And you know what?
Yeah, I do that one.
I can walk my PA 14 just as fast as the guy in a Jackson when he's out walking his. But
I didn't mind that tournament on the Susky as far as boat control. Like having that 360 drive helped a lot in the current when it was deep enough to use. In hindsight, I'll probably take an Outback next year, just so it's a little easier as far as crossing those super shallow shoals.
well, the old Outback actually had a deeper draft than the PA because my wife and I used to have an Outback, and then we went out on a river, and there was weeds, real thick weeds, and she was in the Outback, and I was in a PA. I was able to pedal, and she couldn't. She could barely paddle through it. And I know the new Outback doesn't have the same draft as that one, but I still need to get a lighter kayak. I don't know if it's going to be the Compass or the Outback, or see what Hobie's got coming up in the new year. Maybe. No one knows.
Is that a teaser?
No, hey, I don't know. I'm just speculating. They've been pretty quiet for a while. They had their year off. 2021, that would, at least every other year, something new and big has got to come for us.
Yeah. Okay.
Kayak anglers, right? I'm guessing.
So.
I'm guessing. No knowledge here. Anyways, I don't know. Did I catch all the questions? I don't think we got any more questions here. Let's see. Definitely not musky. Okay.
No, Christine doesn't want me to sneak in on her content.
Oh, okay. All right.
Christine's in timeout for a little while, so you better put all the musky content you can up in the next few months.
I watched her ice fishing video or ice fishing camping. That's pretty interesting. The whole lot of preparation. That's too much. That was too much for me. I got to give her credit. That's a lot of work. All them batteries stuffed in every corner. That great big tent. I had a hard time
hauling.
Like
the way to ice fish, though. If you give me like a couple bottles of whiskey, I can probably do some really good fishing. I would say.
Yeah. The content about
my freezer. That's as much as ice fishing as I do.
But I don't think we have. She was talking about most of the. You got to camp close to shore where there's, I guess there's washrooms in the parks on shore, but I don't think we have places like that here.
No.
Heck, in Ontario here, it's rough to have a porta-john anywhere. That's the nice thing about fishing tournaments in the States. Every launch you go to, you got something right there to help you. But
I don't need a porta-john.
No, I brought mine just for Tim. That's where the phone app helps when you got to unlock your vehicle, let somebody in to borrow your porta-john.
Well, that was a convenient one, but I still don't need that. Just a nice log somewhere out in the woods. I'm fine.
Oh, boy.
I should have seen the guys running ice fishing yesterday. there was no porta-johns there. Go for a ride up the road. Where are you going?
Oh, man.
Or the bathroom. Anyways, Ryan, is there anything else about this new platform that you'd like to share with us?
No, I mean, mainly, what we're looking for is kind of we want to build like sort of a forum-like community, like what everything used to be before Facebook happened. We want that to be kind of a destination website, for not only new anglers, but experienced anglers also. We want to have, some interaction, other than just going on to watch videos. We want it to kind of be a community of its own is what we're trying to build.
So were you into kayak fishing, Ryan, when the forums were before we were all on Facebook?
I came in on the tail end of it. I mean, forums were kind of on the decline then. I used to be on some fishing forums, some I used to duck hunt all the time, so I was on like these duck hunting forums and stuff. And you could see kind of the transition because in the forums would be links to Facebook pages, and I feel like that was kind of the decline of forums. Is it all became links to different groups on
Yeah.
Facebook, and now we have the controlled media platform that we find ourselves using.
Yeah, well, the nice thing about Facebook, why the forums died, was you had every forum had the what do you call them, the stalkers on there that would come on under hidden names, and they, these guys were really brave on the keyboard
Oh yeah,
when you didn't know who they were. And on Facebook, you had a moderator, and it was hard to go in there as a an alias and
yeah.
get away with it.
Yeah, the trolls get. I mean, you can usually pick out a fake troll account pretty easily on Facebook. I'll admit that. Sometimes they slip through the cracks. My partner Jeff at KBN, he'll accept about anything. We get all we get all kinds of and I'll see like their first post, and I'm like, who accepted this person? And Jeff's like, I'm sorry. He's like, it was late. I was trying to hurry up and get to bed. That's my fault.
Yeah, I help out with a really a big site, and it's when you're accepting names, you put a few questions out there, and the people that won't answer any questions, do you have questions on the KBN?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and do you get people that, especially the people that invite other people, because they
Yeah,
don't get to answer questions, so it's now you got to go look through their timeline, and if they got their timeline locked, you can't see nothing. So what do? You message them, then it all becomes too much work, right?
I usually look at how many groups they have in common, how many friends they have in the group, and if they're holding a fish in their profile picture. If they don't check those three boxes,
Done.
they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hold a fish.
that works. I leave it for the other moderator to screen through them. I take the easy ones. Okay, Lake St. Clair, Detroit River, to ask where they fish, and as long as they got those filled out, I'm accepting them. I'll let the fellow that created a site, he can do it.
Or all their friends are from Nigeria.
Well, those right away with the
Yes.
or the hot
They're accepted.
or the hot girls that says he on it.
Yeah. Look for the Adam's apple.
Instagram is bad for that too, isn't it? Oh man.
Boy.
Yeah, got to block a lot of them. Anyways, I know we got you going on your pre-gamer. Is that 8 o'clock Central Time or Eastern Time for that football game?
I think it's 8 o'clock Central. I think. I don't know.
Where's it being played at?
Hell, I don't know where it's being played at. I don't care about either team, to be honest with you. I'm gonna watch the game because I want to see them both lose. So for me, it's a win-win. Like somebody's gonna be upset after this one. But I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna play out. Do you guys have a vested interest in this deal?
I follow NCAA. I don't follow NFL. I follow the NCAA football, and that come from back when I was 13. Playing hockey on a weekend tournament in Columbus, Ohio, when it was Michigan versus Ohio State, and it was Woody Hayes against Bo Schemblacher. And this is 1973, somewhat 72 or 73, and picture back then. If you can see try and imagine what a TV looked like back then. People brought TVs and extension cords into these old barns to watch the football game while us 13-year-olds were playing hockey. But
were they in color then, or still black?
No, these are black and white TVs. They had color TVs, but they weighed 1,000 pounds. You didn't carry them around with you.
Yeah, the big tube TVs.
The 100-pound TVs were only black and white. But yeah, it was, and I was billeted with a family that was huge Ohio State fans. So I became a Michigan Wolverine fan and hated Ohio State. Anyways,
I don't care for either. We'll see how it goes. It's at 8 Eastern, by the way. I just googled that up.
All right, so that's coming up. You got your pregame going. You got your pregame going. Enjoy the game, Ryan. I want to thank you for coming out.
I appreciate it.
I don't know whenever you got the when your platform is ready to be introduced, make sure you get it to us, and we'll pass it along our Facebook groups up here. Because
for sure, we're going to launch it in January. It'll be out by the end of the month for sure. We're waiting on a couple guys to get their content turned in. We've got a deadline. You have to get the ruler out and slap people on the hand.
All right. Good. It's not Tim isn't one of those guys, is he?
Tim is not. No, Tim's
Okay.
ahead of the curve always.
All right. Great. All right, guys. Thank you very much. And viewers out there, thank you for joining us. The regulars, the new viewers, stay tuned. We'll have if you get any ideas for guests, let me know, and we'll see if we can get them on.